talk to me for a second, right? Sometimes the old version of you is no longer in control, but you can still feel where it used to be. Think of phantom pain after an amputation. The limb is no longer physically there the same way, but the nervous system can still feel pain where it used to be for a prolonged period of time. I think around up to 30 days, if I recall correctly. The old identity is just like that. The identity may be gone, the authority may be gone, the agreement may be gone, but your nervous system can still feel where it used to live. This is why we need replacement theory, right? This doesn't mean you failed. It just means your system is adjusting. Sometimes the old version is gone, but you can still feel where it used to be. Or the old self can echo, but that doesn't mean it gets to lead, right? I think people expect change to be cleaner than it actually is. Like one day you decide you're different, and then all the old thoughts, old urges, old insecurities, old habits, or old reactions, or old anything, right? Just disappear, poof, gone, compare like you're David Blaine or something. But sometimes you choose a new path and the old version still echoes. The old self may show up as hesitation, anxiety, lust, anger, insecurity, comparison, avoidance, fear of being seen, the urge to quit, the urge to rush, the urge to disappear, the urge to overthink, the urge to shrink back into what is familiar. What is familiar doesn't always mean what is good. Change does not always erase the old feeling immediately. Sometimes it just gives you a new response to it. This is where the shadow work comes in. This is where you have to actively work on yourself daily. When I say phantom pain is when a limb is gone, but the nervous system can still feel pain where it used to be. That's how I feel about old identities. Old identities can be gone. You could not be that person anymore, but you can still feel the emotions and pulls of the old you. The old version may not be in control anymore, but your system can still feel where it used to be. The old identity may not be leading anymore, but you can still feel where it used to pull you, where it used to protect you, where it used to sabotage you, where it used to make decisions for you, where it used to define your normal day-to-day life, where it used to tell you what was possible in this world for you. I want you to remember, the old self can lose authority before it loses sensation. You can have control of yourself but still feel the pulse of the old you. The identity can be gone, the paradigm can be gone, but the nervous system can still feel where it used to be. And I want you to take this with you every single day. I'm not back there. I'm feeling where back there used to be. Every time you feel something, right? You feel an old emotion, you feel an old thought, an old feel. That doesn't mean you failed. That means you're growing. That truly means you're growing. Every single time you feel it and choose a different response, you're growing. Excuse me. One of the biggest mistakes is thinking that because an old urge appeared, you're back at zero. Because an old thought showed up, you failed. Because an old feeling returned, the new version was fake. That is not true. That isn't true. The proof is not never feeling the old pull, never having the thought. The proof is not never waking up feeling off. I know we've felt times where we felt off and groggy and not wanting to do anything with the day. The proof is not never getting tempted. The proof is not never feeling insecure. The proof is not never hearing the old voice. The proof is not agreeing with it, not obeying it, not building an identity around said feelings and thoughts or emotions. The proof is returning to yourself faster, your center faster, choosing the aligned action anyway, feeling the echo without giving it the pen. The appearance of the old self is not the return of the old self. The echo isn't evidence that I failed, it's evidence that my system is adjusting, and I want you to listen to those adjustments and make the correct decisions. Sometimes the old self is not just evil or stupid. Sometimes the old self was a survival strategy. I want you to be okay with the old versions of you. Because as you grow, you have to do this thing called making peace with the old versions of yourself. And because the old versions of you may have helped you avoid a rejection, avoid embarrassment, stay safe, stay hidden, avoid disappointment, avoid risk, protect yourself from pain, make it through a season where you did not know another way. But survival strategies can become prisons. That is how a lot of human beings, that's how all human beings are built. We are built to look for the most comfortable way to survive something. We're built for survival. We look for the most comfortable way to do something. But those strategies of survival can become prisons of our own doing. I can thank the old self for trying to protect me without letting it control me. What may have protected you in one season may restrict you in the next. And I want you to understand that. Before I record, I might still feel the old pull to hesitate, to wait, to overthink, to make sure everything is perfect. But the hesitation is not always wisdom. Sometimes it is phantom pain. I may feel the pull to stop applying myself, to stop pushing for new ideas, to stop pushing for new business ventures, to stop pushing for making new friends, to stop looking for the one girl of my dreams, to stop looking for all these things. But the hesitation is not always wisdom. It is just phantom pain. I feel the urge to stay quiet, to not be open, to avoid the rep, but I can still feel that pull and choose connection. The old self may want silence, but the new self practices connection. Even while building something meaningful, I can still feel the urge to rush and just get it over with. That is one of the worst things you could do as an artist, unless it is absolutely necessary in that period. There are times where you just feel the natural pull to just, and you're done, right? It happens, right? It's not a bad thing. But that old rush is not always wisdom. Sometimes it is discomfort trying to escape. I want you to take your time and finish it with care and precision. Rushing can be an old wound wearing the mask of productivity, and I know a lot of us have that mask on. A lot of us listen to what's happening on social media and think, we need to be working these 65-hour weeks, right? Doing all these things, putting all this work in. If we do this, we can work on 3 businesses right here. We can have 7 income streams. We can do this, we can do that, No, relax, stand still, calm down, and do it day by day. I want you to do this. When the phantom pain arises, do these 5 things. 1, I want you to notice it. Notice it's there. Just notice it, right? 2, name what it is. Name the subconscious wound where this feeling comes from, where this negative feeling comes from. Name it. Be honest with yourself. Number 3, don't panic. That is one of the worst things you can do. When you panic, you allow yourself to start thinking of all these things, and you allow the emotion to continue. And how you stop the old is you starve out the old. So when you panic, you're going to feed the old. Number 4, do not identify with it. And number 5, choose the next clean action. Like this. I can feel the old pull, but I don't have to follow it. I can feel the rush, but I still slow down. I can feel the fear, but I still take the rep. I feel the old self, but I do not have to become the old self. You do not heal phantom pain or subconscious wounds by obeying it. You heal it by proving you are safe without the old pattern. So, if the old version echoes sometimes still, I'm not calling that failure for myself anymore, and I hope you do the same. That is residue. And residue eventually comes off. It's like rust, removing the rust of the subconscious wounds. That is the old identity losing authority. Think of you bettering yourself and going through those emotional wounds as if you're removing the rust. Let's say in a game. You could even say in a game, right? It's been a while since you played. So you're removing the rust so you can get back to where you were prior to you quitting. Or whatever happened for you to stop. That is your body learning it does not need the old pattern anymore. The goal is not to hate the old self. The goal is to stop letting it hold the pen. I can honor what version survived without letting it decide where I go next. The old version, the old self can echo. But that doesn't mean it gets the lead. The phantom pain of the old self is not proof that I failed. It is proof that I'm learning to live without it. With that being said, I love y'all. Have a good day. Wonderful day. Peace out.